The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riff Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Becon in the dark for you. Reach out, grab that spark. Wisdom waits in silent hues. Find your path out of the dark. Thursday night, the time is near. Guidance shines at 9:30. Eastern winds will draw you here. Hearts and minds no longer blurry. Your fate lies in your own hands. Wisdom flows like desert sands. Knowledge hidden in plain sight. Reach for it with all your might.
Oh my God, I'm back already. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Becon in the Dark, the second half of Thursday nights. Now tonight, we're going to be talking about empaths, empathic abilities, the good, the bad, and the ugly. As when it comes to that, if you can see over to the side, right here, these are some of the crystals you can utilize to be able to help you with your empathic abilities. So, that's my little mascot dragon in the background over there. So, but we're going to be getting into this for as much help as possible with, of course, your empathic ability. So, and so welcome everybody. And it's really nice to be back on the second half. Let's see. Hello, Michelle Wilfong. Hello, Ryan Jones, host of Freaking Awesome Paranormal. Hello, Michelle Caps. So welcome, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it later, that's okay. As long as you get the information and you utilize it to the best of your ability, that's what I'm here for. So see, as you guys can see, I have two sets of glasses. It's like one I see the screen with and the other one I need to read with. So welcome my life. So so that's what we got. So we're going to take a look at all of this in a minute. So first of all, empaths, like what exactly is an empath? What do you guys think an empath is? What is it that makes empathic people or empathic individuals different from psychics? It has a lot to do with emotional, physical, and mental things that we absorb. We absorb them, and we have this tendency to feel them on a deeper level. As a kid, a lot of us would call us sensitive. Oh my god, you're way too sensitive. Yeah, no, it's not that you're way too sensitive. It's you have empathic abilities. And a lot of times, individuals, when you're growing up, will get told, oh my God, she's too sensitive. Just like stop, cut it out. Oh my God. But it's not that. It's the way that we are feeling things. Okay. So let's get into this right now. So let's see the trademark. And again, I took a lot of notes. So the trademark actually of empath is feeling and absorbing other people's emotions and or physical symptoms because of their high sensitivity. It's not that you're too sensitive. It's that we are absorbing other people's issues at the same time, which makes it complicated when we have our own issues to actually deal with. Now, these people actually filter the world through their intuition and have a difficult time intellectualizing their own feelings. So, do you guys feel like you're trapped? Like you can't seem to figure out why you're feeling a certain way? Listen to this, okay? Listen to the show. Listen to what some of the symptoms are. And then we're going to get into certain forms of protection. I like working with crystals. So, of course, that's why I have the crystal display over here. And I will be describing each particular crystal to you guys so you know which crystal to go find. So, that's going to be really helpful. Now, and it is okay. An empath. Let's see. There's actually challenges for highly sensitive people, and again, this comes up as excuse me, not a psychiatrist, but a counselor. I am a counselor also, and there are a lot of issues that individuals do not even know that they are empath or they have some latent empathic abilities. They just think they don't understand why they're feeling this or feeling that. Now, when overwhelmed, okay, when overwhelmed with the impact of stressful emotions, empaths may experience panic attacks, depression, chronic fatigue, food, sex, drugs, binges, exhibit many other physical symptoms that actually defy traditional diagnosis. Do you know empaths can actually develop fevers if they're extremely close to people? I, at one time, actually felt somebody stroke. My whole head spun and I dropped to the ground, and there's nothing wrong with me. And I actually felt it, and it does get difficult. Now, but empaths can also learn to center themselves so they don't feel too much and become overwhelmed. Because a lot of us will feel that. We really will. Let's see. First, you need to acknowledge you are an empath. Now, what we have is some traits here that will help you identify whether or not you are an empath. Now, empaths are actually highly sensitive. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is empaths naturally giving, spiritually open, and good listeners. If you want, let's see, if you want heart, empaths actually have a really good heart. Through thick and thin, these world class nurturers will be there for you, but they can easily have their feelings hurt too. Try to remember that. Empaths do get their feelings hurt quite easily. Okay. Let's see. Empaths are often told that they are too sensitive and need to toughen up. Now, how many of us have actually heard that? How many of us have actually heard those words as a kid? Oh my God, toughen up. And I'm a girl. So, empaths, here's the next trait. Empaths will absorb other people's emotions. Yeah, that's a tough one. Now, empaths are actually highly attuned to other people's moods, good or bad. Not always a good thing. They feel everything sometimes to an extreme. So try to picture this right now. They take on negativity a lot. They take on negativity such as anger, anxiety, which can actually exhaust them. Why? Because it's not your emotions you're feeling. That's the part we need to get to. Now, if they are around people and peace and love through their bodies, actually feed on these nourishments. That's why a lot of empaths will literally use that good old saying, that's not my monkey, not my circus. And the reason for that is because it's very difficult for an empath to be around negativity, negative energy, or negative people. It does affect them physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay. So these empathic people will have a tendency sometimes to develop things that aren't actually there, like a cold for no reason, or a stomach bug for no reason, or all of a sudden a slight fever with nothing wrong with you. Doctors can't figure it out. These are things that we actually do develop. Michelle Capps feels these a lot. Empaths are actually highly intuitive, believe it or not. How do you like that? You can also look into how to develop your intuition as well. Empaths, let's see, experience the world through their intuition. It's important for them to develop their intuition and listen to their gut feelings about people. Because a lot of us don't do that. This helps empaths find positive relationships and also helps you to avoid energy vampires. Because hello, Galen, there are energy vampires out there. And that's the one thing that empaths need to avoid. We need to avoid that at all costs. All right. Now, empaths need alone time. It's very important that individuals that are empaths, you need that alone time. Okay. Now, as a super responders, that's what we're called. Empaths find being around people can be draining. They so periodically need time alone to actually recharge. Even a brief escape actually prevents emotional overload. For example, empaths like to have their own cars when they go places so they can leave when they please. And I'm one of those individuals. If I'm going somewhere, I prefer to have my own means of transportation in case I need that time to escape. I'm not escaping the people, I'm just taking that break that my body actually needs. My, emotions, brain, and body actually need it. It's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And empaths can actually become overwhelmed in intimate relationships. Now, this particular one, this is extremely true when it comes to intimate relationships. Yes. Now, too much togetherness can be difficult for an empath. So they may avoid intimate relationships because they feel things, what, guys? Deeply, extremely deeply. Deep down, they are afraid of being engulfed and losing their identity. And how many of you are feeling that? You're afraid in a relationship, if you open your heart up all the way, that you're afraid of losing yourself and your own identity in this relationship. Now, for empaths to actually be at ease in a relationship, the traditional paragram for being a couple must be actually refined, and that's the issues. That is a particular issue. There's actually another book, Secrets for Sensitive People: Why Empaths Stay Lonely. And there's a reason for that, and this is actually a help there. The next one we're actually going to be talking about is why empaths are actually targets for energy vampires, because a lot of us are. We are targets for energy vampires. Now, an empath's sensitivity makes them particularly easy marks for energy vampires. Those who fear rage can actually slap their energy and their peace of mind. These vampires may do more than actually drain an empath's physical energy, especially dangerous ones such as narcissists who actually lack empathy, are only concerned with themselves, can make an empath believe they are unworthy and unloved and unlovable. Other vampires actually include the victim, the chronic talker, the drama queen, and so on and so forth. These are all forms of actual energy vampires. My husband is that way too, so we have developed an upstairs downstairs couple most of the days. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that because you need to have these boundaries in order to be able to help. There's actually a book for strategies to survive emotional vampires, and that's what they're called. That is another one right there that can help you out. Now, empaths become replenished in nature. I tell you guys all the time, go outside, by a tree, do your rooting exercises, okay? Literally. Now, the busyness of everyday life can be too much for an empath. It really can be. The natural world actually nourishes and restores them. It helps them release their burdens, and they can take refuge in the presence of green and wild things, the ocean and other bodies of water. I am a big connection with the ocean. I live right by the ocean. It's really not that far of a drive, but when I really need that break and that escape, I go to the ocean. It's just something that I've always done. I didn't know why I did it, but it's something I've always done. I always felt more at peace, more at ease. Some people might feel more peace, more at ease taking a nature walk. It really depends whether you're connected to the ocean or nature or trees. So, and I used to do sit there and lean up against the tree and just watch the squirrels. I used to do that too. So there's a lot of things that you can actually do to assist yourself. Now, empaths are highly tuned senses. You have highly tuned senses. Ocean, yeah, big ocean girl here too. Now, an empath's nerves can get frayed by noises, guilty. Smells, guilty. Excessive talking, guilty. I'm guilty in all those. So, as an empath, you can get frayed, and again, by noises. I can't stand constant loud noises. Certain smells, just, oh my God, no. And again, people that excessively go, I mean, it's nonstop. If like somebody comes in and says the same thing over and over and over and over again, it's like you have to learn to deal it back. But there's ways and tricks and things you can actually do to help yourself with that. Let's see. Now, let's see. 10. Empaths actually have huge heart, but sometimes gives too much. This is an an extreme situation where an empath will give, and give, and a lot of times they won't be reciprocated for the amount they're given. Overwhelming, exactly. Now, empaths are actually big hearted people and try to relieve the pain of others. Yes. A hopeless person caught in cupboard. I am hungry. Signed at a busy intersection. A hurt child. A distraught friend. It's actually natural to want to reach out and help these people and ease their pain. But empaths don't stop there. Instead, they take it on. Suddenly, they're the ones feeling drained and upset when they felt fine before. Now, this sounds familiar, doesn't it? And that's the issue with empaths. You have to learn to separate. There are certain things we need to do as empathic people to help us so we can be more balanced in society. A lot of times when we withdraw or we're not as verbal as we used to be, it has nothing to do with the individual. It has more to do with being the empath. We sense things more deeply. We literally can picture a lie. If somebody is telling a lie, we know. Some of those might not actually always, hello, Michelle Wilfong. Hey, Eddie. Some of those might not actually state this, might not say, yeah, I know you're lying. We'll hold it in. What's that going to do? You're holding in the negativity of the situation that actually happened. But it's a catch-22. It's a really difficult situation. Now, as an empath, you can use many strategies to actually protect yourself and your sensitivities. Let's see, such as fence time management, setting limits and boundaries with people who are draining, meditation to actually calm and center yourself, going for a walk into nature, or, of course, me, ocean. Let's see, being an empath is actually a gift, but you have to learn to take care of yourself first. Yes, you have to learn to take care of yourself, Perth. Empaths have special needs. We really do have special needs. Now, if you're an empath, it's important to honor your needs and communicate them to your loved ones. You have to let them know, like, I need a break. I need a timeout, so to speak. When I had kids, all my kids in the house, sometimes I needed that break. So literally, I would put myself in timeout, put the timeout clock on. Kids thought it was hilarious because I wasn't allowed to talk and nobody was allowed to talk to me. So they thought, oh my God, mom's in trouble. She's in timeout. No, I was taking a break. Like, don't some of us as adults wish we could actually do that now at work? Timeout. Sorry, don't talk to me. Not a word. That'd be pretty cool, don't you think? Oh my God. Yeah, it really does. Now, here's the question. Now, you have all these overwhelming feelings, oversensitive, you're an empath. Now, why? A lot of people say, okay, you're an empath, big deal. Why do you need protection? There's a lot of reasons why we need protection, why we need to protect ourselves. And that's some of the statements I just talked about. Now, empaths actually have unique ability to absorb other people's energies. So being in a crowded place in close contact with others can be overwhelming. Now, say individuals like to go to a flea market. It is a challenge that you kind of have to prepare for, going into a flea market, going to a yard sale, because what are we dealing with? Other people's energies. So sometimes the empathic ability goes a step further and becomes empathic, yes, but also psychometry, which is when you're touching objects, you can sense the emotions behind the objects. So it's like a form of psychometry. You're not literally seeing where it came from, but you're feeling the emotions behind this particular object. And this can actually happen. And what happens as the empath, you will absorb it. So if it's negative, you will absorb it. So if you see something and you get that, like, yeah, no, I can't touch that, then you can feel the negativity coming off it. So whoever had that item before, whether it's like in a Savers, a secondhand store, or that you don't know where it came from, or a yard sale, or whatever it is, you can feel that negative energy coming off it. So do not touch it. Doesn't matter how beautiful it is, or, oh my God, that's unique, I want that. No, it's not worth it. And that's why I always have a lot of sage with me. Sage literally is awesome. I also have sea salt that I have with me. So depending on what it is I'm doing, I prepare. We're going to talk about some of the crystals you can actually take with you or wear that actually help you as an empath as well. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, you're an empath when you feel things deeply and you're prone to pick up on external emotions, but may mistake them as your own. Now, how many of us do that? You're feeling one way, go to a friend's house. There was somebody there before you got there, and I guess they were really angry. They were sitting in a chair. All of a sudden, you're sitting in this chair, and all of a sudden, you start to feel that anger. What are you doing? You're absorbing it. Why are you absorbing it? Because you're an empath and you didn't guard and protect yourself. So it's very important to have that emotional protection for yourself, emotional, physical, and mental. A lot of empaths will feel physical symptoms of others as well. So you need to be careful. And yes, exactly, Michelle. Exactly. Remember, I told you, not your monkey, not your circus. You have to avoid negative energy. It's for your own good, your own health. It's okay to look out for you first, okay? Now, being around negative energies can make you feel drained. It's like no matter how much you sleep, you still want to go back to bed. Your alarm clock rings and you wish you had one of those big hammers and you go, leave me alone. But you don't, because you got to get up. So these are the things we have. All right. Now, even hanging out with a friend so actually stressed and unhappy can actually cause you to feel as if it's a personal burden for you to carry. You have to carry this. You have to absorb this. You have to help. You have to do that. And that's what happens because we at empaths have that larger heart. We want to absorb. We want to carry that with us. in order to assist the other people. And again, this causes a lot of issues. Other day, walked my dog by a creek, several people there. My dog interacted with all of them except for one person, and I know my dog knows. Yes, animals can actually be empathic as well. Yes, they can. Now, they really can, and that's what happens. They will know, especially animals. Um, we walk the other way. Yeah, I don't blame you. Now, here we go. Now, the truth is that us as empaths, we are faced with constant battles between helping people around you and looking after yourself and your empathic needs. It's catch 22. It's a hard situation to actually deal with. It really is. Okay. Now, and that's why you need to protect yourself as an empath. Otherwise, you're just going to be on an emotional roller coaster. And that is not something that we deserve. We can't help others if we don't help ourselves. Now, the problem is many empaths don't fully understand what they can do to protect themselves, both long term and in the moment. They feel faced with unwanted energies. You're absorbing these energies, is what you're actually doing. But it doesn't have to be such a struggle if you only take the time to practice some of the strategies. And again, I have some of them below. Okay. These are like protection strategies we can actually use. I've realized that I take on certain people's pain and emotions. Yes, very strongly. Let's see. Can one really feel another's pain? Yes. Yes, you can. Um, no, don't second guess yourself. That's your first. Don't second guess yourself. Yes, I feel physical symptoms of individuals, which is why people around here know don't touch me. Like, I don't like to be touched. That's what I tell people. They're not exactly 100% know why, but it's because I'm an empath. I don't want to be touched because I will feel what's happening inside them. But yes, that's a thin line between the two, helping them and helping yourself. Yes, it is. It's a very thin line. It really is. And it's a hard decision to actually make, but you have to look out for yourself. And if you're assisting somebody, like there's somebody out there actually assisting a friend that need it, you need to set boundaries. You have your own boundaries, your own limits you have to deal with. Learn to set that alone time for yourself. Learn to deal with particular things that are going to help you out is what you need to do. Okay, now let's start with a protective step that'll make all others fall into place a little easier. Okay, cutting out energy vampires right off the bat. Yes, even when you're not near me. Yes. And that's why I have a bubble. I bubble myself, and we can do that too today if you want. You need to cut out all energy vampires. You'll know when you're next to an energy vampire. And, they all have them, whether it's a boss actually at work, a sibling, an old friend. An energy vampire simply is anyone who makes you feel drained after being around them. That's the definition of an energy vampire. Empaths have issues with that. Now, energy vampires don't always realize what they're doing, though. Some do, not all do. Okay, but unconsciously, they suck your precious energy. Now, it's the point where you feel extremely tired and weak all of a sudden for no reason. That's how you're actually going to know. Now, it could be that they're jealous of you, they have narcissistic tendencies, or they enjoy feeding off and carrying nature and the willingness to actually help others. And then it's it, they're feeding off it. I got that down. That's it. That's the first thing we need to do is you need to cut off the energy vampires. And a lot of times it's harder to do if it's an individual at work and you have to see them every day. The good news is you don't have to get bogged down with them any longer. A great way to protect your empathic needs is to cut out any energy vampires that you can, because let's face it, you've the better things to do with your day than have the energy vampires actually ruin it. Now, and for one that who can't, like close family, colleague, try to set healthy boundaries. And again, you're setting the boundaries within yourself. You know this particular energy vampire is coming closer and closer to you. You know they're going to absorb your energy. You need to literally immediately guard, protect, and bubble. And that's where sometimes the crystals come into play. You know, you figure black tourmaline protection. Okay, we're going to talk about those in a bit. They do assist. Also, garnet is a really good way to actually do that. Okay. Yep. All right, hold on. Let me get this out here. All right, that's gone. All right. Now, so these particular energy vampires is something that can, help get you into this. So, and that's when we go into the next one. Okay. The next one we're talking about is having strong limits and boundaries. You need to set those. And for some of us, it is very hard to set boundaries and limits about what we need, what we can do, and what we want. Let's see. So you've identified who is the energy vampire in your life. You're probably wondering how you can go about, coexisting with ones you can't avoid. The most important thing you could do is actually create a healthy, manageable relationship and set boundaries. Let's see. So boundaries. For example, if you're dealing with a energy sucking sibling, you might set limits in how much time you can actually spend around them. Sometimes that happens. If it means limiting your contact to family get-togethers, so be it. You have to look out for yourself first. Now, the truth is, boundaries can and should be used in all relationships, even the most loving and supportive one. Okay, boundaries help relationships and friendships flow more smoothly because people know what is acceptable and what isn't. When thinking what boundaries you should have in place, ask yourself these particular questions. Okay, the first one is, what am I willing to put up with? Okay, and what crosses your limit? That's the first question you should ask yourself. All right. The next one you should ask yourself is, what do I need? What do I need to set boundaries with the most? What do you need? How do you do this? Now, what are you comfortable saying yes? And what do you want to say no to? These are all part of the boundaries, okay? The stronger your boundaries are, the better you actually are going to be. All right. So you need to set these particular boundaries. And again, it's difficult. Sometimes a psychic bubble actually helps. Particular crystals actually help. Sage helps. So there are certain things that help, but it's not like you can be in the office and burn sage and say, "Get away from me, you evil dude." You can't do that. But now be upfront about your empathic needs. And these when we're talking about this, we're talking about close friends, not actually work relationships, because then they'll think our nuts and call us a white jacket. So that's the way they do it. So now a big part of being able to set boundaries involves knowing what your needs are before you can decide how you can look after them. What are your needs? What boundaries do you need to have in place is what we're talking. Now, as an empath, you're already aware that you pick up on the energies much more than others, and that you're more sensitive to certain suspicions and stimulations, situations and stimulations. You're more susceptible to those than others. I know I talk a lot. Here we go. Now, but you have to work out what exhausts you and what energizes you. Okay. So, me, and again, I work with crystals. So, let's say if I know I have to be around a negative person, or I know that this energy isn't going to be good. Okay, I'm going to grab a a crystal bracelet. I'm going to put on a particular pair of earrings because they help, they energize me. And that's what you want. So you can work with crystals, you can work with certain aromatherapies or incense. So things that help energize you will help guard against that. And it'll keep you a lot safer, is what it is. So once you reflected on what your unique empathic needs are, you need to convey them to your loved ones honestly without holding back. Every now and then we all just need a break. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Now, even the best intentions, like my family already knows. They know I'm weird. I'm cool with it. They're cool with it. So we went through all that. So even with the best intentions in the world, and again, so it doesn't matter who it is, they can simply not understand what you're going through. And being upfront with them will help them to understand. It's also going to stop any misunderstandings that the individual you're trying to get them to understand you need to be upfront about what is actually happening, okay? Now, find your voice, speak up. If something doesn't feel right, don't be afraid to explain how you feel in particular situations. And again, this is something that can actually be done with close friends. It's very difficult to do in a workplace. When at all possible, please move away from negative environments. That's extremely important. And I will do that if I go outside to have a cigarette. I will, if somebody is like starting an argument or getting, I will walk right away. And I just think of that thing my mother used to tell me, not my monkey, not my circus. That's what she used to tell me. So, and that was her way of saying, you just need to walk away. It's like, okay. Now, if you find yourself in a space with a lot of negativity or energies that make you uncomfortable, the easiest way to protect yourself is just go away. Walk away from it, move away from the particular area. And again, you don't want to worry about other people's feelings when you do this. It's not the other people. You're protecting yourself because you don't want to, or you choose not to be around negative energy. I even have a shirt that says happy vibes only, please. I choose not to be around negative energies, negative people. That's negative situations. I choose. That's how I keep myself safe. And again, the term is I. And that's what you guys need to do. You need to have that term I actually choose. Okay? Avoid body contact. We talked about this earlier. Just as you might avoid certain spaces, it's okay to say no to hugs, kisses, handshakes with people who might make you uncomfortable. That is very true. And that's why I say I don't like to be touched. I leave that term out there with everybody, is what I do. Let's see. Are you all about... Oh, I'm sorry. I took them off Restream. So, yeah, I don't know what question they're trying to ask. It used to be WWF. Now it's WWE. Anyways. All right. So you need to avoid body contact. Now, energy can easily pass, like we've talked about this. Energy can pass on objects. So, yes, energy can, but when I do leave, I'm rude. No, you're not rude. Excuse yourself. Oh, we're girls. I'm sorry. I got to go to the bathroom. Take that time in a stall for yourself, whether you got to go or not. Walk away. Leave the particular situation. And that's what it is. I let people know I choose me. I don't do negativity at all. I choose not to, so I choose not to. I'm avoiding negativity is what I'm doing. So, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. You're not being rude. You're guarding yourself. You're protecting yourself because evidently the people with the negative energy and the negative influences aren't thinking about you. So how can you be rude? You're not rude. Okay. And again, they can easily be passed as a result. What happens is you're going to absorb their energies and things. Yeah, I took them off of Restream, but I didn't get a chance to take them off of take him off YouTube yet, but he's not on Restream right now. And that's what it is. Now, it's not actually to say that you have to be heartless, avoid hugging friends, but in certain situations, you need to pick and choose. So when I'm outside, I choose not to be touched, and everybody knows that. Okay. So they know this. They know that I choose not to be touched. I mean, my man, that's different. I like his energy. He's really cute. So, but yeah, I like his energy. I don't have an issue with that, but I'm not a huggy, kissy type person, and I'm not going to sit out there with a bunch of people. And it's just, I can't do that. I have to keep myself safe. And again, you need to do that with physical touch, is what you need to do. Now, practice detachment. What the heck? You want me to be alone? No, I don't. Now, detachment is what we're talking about. Now, while we're on the subject of learning how to walk away, knowing when to give up helping others is also a key strategy in protecting yourself. Okay? It's a key strategy. Now, as an empath, your natural desire is to actually help others, even if they don't want it. By opening up this channel of empathy, you're also opening a tunnel for energies to pass between you. So if particular individuals do not want to be helped, don't try to force the help, because what you're doing is, if they have that, yeah, I'm not doing this, I'm just, I'm giving up, I'm quitting type of attitude, and you're trying to get through, it's not going to happen. You need to pick and choose your battles, is what you need to do. That's another thing my mother used to say. Pick and choose your battles. Okay? Pick and choose them. Learning to let people come to you if they generally need help. And it's for the ones that actually don't. See, what you're doing is you're learning. If somebody generally needs help, they will ask you for it. Hey, I need help with this. If they don't come up to you and say, I really need help with this, empaths are guilty of not asking anybody for help. Yes, guilty, guilty, guilty. Visualize protection. This is something that I talked about a couple minutes ago. It's called the little pin that we talked about. We've done this bubbling before. Bubbling is a really good way to do that. Did you know that you can actually visualize your own protection? Because we're empaths, we can visualize our own protection. Now, this is one of the easiest and quickest ways you can do to block out energies, all just by using the power of your emotions. The next time you're actually stuck with an energy vampire or sat next to a negative energy on the bus, okay, picture a large protective shield around you. Thank you. I can't get over to YouTube right now. So you need to picture that. It's easy to actually picture a protective shield, is what it is. Let's see if we can get over to YouTube right here. So hold on. So by picturing this protective shield, and again, this shield can picture all around you, is what it can do. Allow yourself that protection. Do not absorb the negative energy. And we've done this a couple of times before. I need to switch accounts. Hold on. That's the one. All right. So, and allow yourself to do this. Now, we've talked about this. Let me get over to this. I have to shut the volume off in a minute. Sorry. All right. So I don't see the comments. Why can't I see the comments in here? I don't see the comments in chat. I'll have to go back in later. All right. So what it is that you picture this beautiful shield. Thank you. I have to go back in later after the show and block and remove comments. But I did remove him from the restream, so I'm not seeing anything he's saying. Like I said, I pick and choose my battles. So literally just bubble yourself, what you're doing. Remember we talked about this. You take just a dot, just a little dot, and just grow it, and then pull it over yourself so you're not absorbing anybody else's energies. And always start with that little itty bitty dot. Okay. Then bring it over yourself and allow yourself to be that. And what it is you're keeping yourself guarded and protected. Now, if you're more of a superhero type individual, well, then throw up that energy shield real easy. Make it something fun and exciting. It doesn't matter. Just whatever's comfortable for you is actually going to help you that. Also, using mantras and affirmations can actually assist some people. Let's see. Let's see. Visualize protection isn't the only thing you can actually do. Using the power of your mind, repeating mantras and affirmations can also a quick and convenient way of actually protecting yourself. Now, mantras come from Sanskrit, but in any language, they are largely linked to spirituality. Many people chant mantras, whistling, or meditation. The purpose of a mantra is to actually help you achieve inner peace so that you can reach higher levels of spirituality, just so you know that. Okay. Let's see. Here's one here. I will not allow negative thinking to penetrate my thoughts, dictate my decision making, or intimidate my hope of the future. There's one right there. One of my friends call it putting on the bottom. I like that. I like that. Negativity has no choice to leave when I am present. It just literally anything. These are little mantras you can actually repeat to yourself, is what you can do. Okay. That is something that can actually help. And again, it's like a shield. I'm a duck. Oh my God. So, and that's something that you can actually do. It's very helpful. Practice meditation. Meditation for empaths reduce anxiety, enhances self-awareness, improve emotional health, and increases concentration, and you sleep better because a lot of us will, have issues towards the end of the night. Now, meditation finds an easy way, for example, of relaxing to the end of the day. And again, you can listen to just about anything. Self healing meditations is a really good one for empaths. Let's see. Focus on your breathing. That is another thing. And it's just like meditation, it can really work. Now, our breath actually, the potential to change our entire mood. Knowing how to harness this power, knowing how to harness this power, you'll always stay in control in a stressful situation. When you're faced with negative energies, calming breath in deeply. Okay, in deeply, breathe in deeply. As you do, imagine yourself breathing in peace, tranquility, and exhale any stress or negativity, is what you're doing. So you're letting go of the negativity, that is what you're doing. Okay. Now, and again, as well as cleansing your energy and breath, breathing can actually help calm you down, clears your head. And again, it's with the thinking, with the mantras all at the same time. Let's see, it's actually a perfect form of protection to use in situations where you can't leave. For example, during a meeting at work, and a line at actually a supermarket. So the breath work can actually help in a lot more situations than others. We're going to get into the gemstones after I get into a couple more things here. We'll get into the gemstones. Reduce social media usage. And that's what it is. A lot of times, individuals or empaths will absorb social media because they're like, oh, I got to get this many friends. No. It's not about that. So it's from news feeds to ads. You're seeing like, oh my God, the regular news. Okay. You'll have like this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. So I don't watch the regular news. I look up the weather. I choose not to watch the regular news because I know that will affect me. So because then I feel bad for this, I feel bad for this. And it's really hard for me to not absorb all these negative things that are happening. I choose not to be around the negativity. If I want to know something, I will look it up. but I choose not to be around that. Helps when you feel panic attack coming on too. Yes, it does. Breath does help that. Now, prevent empathy overload. Okay. Just as you might limit yourself in social media usage, you also want to handle your structure, your time in any way to avoid empathic overload. If you know that certain activities during the week cause you to go into overload, arrange your schedule so you have less to do on those days. And again, that's just called looking after yourself, is what it is. Okay. Now, having time management is what it's called. It's useful. It's extremely useful because you know that you're going to be around certain people on certain days or certain times. You need to limit your activities around people to help you actually get through this so you're not actually on overload. Alongside being upfront with your needs, you will also need a plan for emotional overload to be prepared for it. And again, that's your downtime after you've actually been on overload. Spend time in nature. And again, I keep talking about this. The final point actually leads us to nature, the ultimate form of protection and healing. Empaths need nature to reset their emotions and dial and reconnections with themselves and the earth. Whether it's a quick walk at a local park or a day at the beach, being around trees, water, animals is a sure way to help cleanse off any negativity and help you regain your strength. That's why we feel more at one in nature. We're going to get into the crystals in a minute, is what we're going to get into. Let's see. So now that you actually covered the ways you can actually protect yourself, and you have a better understanding of whether or not you are an empath, or maybe you're living with somebody who's an empath, and you needed a way to understand them better, is what it is. It's helpful to be able to understand others. Now, we're going to get into the gemstones right now, and that's why I have the other camera up. Now, gemstones actually have different purposes. What we're talking about is the gemstones here, and this is something to assist. And again, I utilize this a lot. Now, they have different purposes depending on their colors. Can be a great way to actually carry physical forms of protection. It is believed that effects of the gemstone are due to color therapy. Different colors can actually affect different colors and moods. And again, black is always the best for neutralizing energies, grounding. But us as empaths have this tendency to literally feel the energies of the particular crystals. So let's get into this. Okay. So I need to push this down here. All right, so the first crystal we're actually going to get into is the black tourmaline here. All right, let me see if I can pull this down. Pull that over. Hold on. Pull this up so I can see two things at once. There we go. No. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. I'm just adjusting. There we go. There. Got it. So what we're talking about here right now is this one. This is, and again, this is tourmaline. Now, black tourmaline. Change my glasses here. My dog loves the beach. My dog hates the water. Okay, and again, it deals with the root chakra. Okay, now black tourmaline is probably the most powerful in order to protect you against negative energy, is what it is. That's what it really works very well for. It's also one best stone for soothing anxiety, along with crystals such as citrine that also have link to the solar plexus and kyanite. Let's see, metaphysical power is actually linked to electrical forces around your aura. So these deal with the electrical forces around your aura. That's why it's so protective. It stops low vibe energies and psychic debris from attacking you and transmits it into positive energy. And again, this is actually a great crystal for empathic healers. All right. If you're attracting negative people, feel ungrounded, or need to boost positivity. Black tourmaline is actually a really good crystal. And again, it deals with physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. It actually helps you. So this is the black tourmaline that's really going to help you out. The next one we're going to talk about is hematite. And again, the only thing I have is my hematite wand. This is one of my healing wands, is what I have. It's like a silvery black color is what it is. Hematite, once polished, takes the look of a black mirror. It does look similar to a black mirror in appearance. What it does is it has a reflective shield that deflects unwanted energies and vibrations. Very important for empaths. Now, it's actually a rich earth energy. Hematite is one of the strongest stones for grounding. It helps empaths from becoming overwhelmed. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you want to bring your hematite with you. Okay, so that's going to help you with that. Like if you feel a black cloud is hanging over you, you need to remain centered, or to do without people actually draining you. Hematite will actually work for that. All right. The next one is malachite, which I don't happen to have a malachite right now. I did, but I don't know where it is. So now malachite is a greenish stone with kind of like light green lines in it. But remember, if the lines are all look really even, that's not real. Malachite's lines are more obstruct and more wild, is the easiest way to explain it. Now it actually has a rich green energy. It has the power to actually clear and release any stagnant energy, but allows you to be yourself, which is really good. Let's see, an empath. As an empath, take the emotional plane of others on as your own. This is unbalanced as your heart chakra, and that's why the malachite actually works very well. Webbed. No, it's got like lines in it all over the place. But if the lines look too straight, it's fake. That's the easiest way I can actually put that. So that's going to help you with that particular thing. Now, the next one we're talking about is amethyst. Of course, I do happen to have an amethyst here. This is an amethyst cluster, is what I have, or my amethyst bracelet. I wear amethyst. Now, the reason I actually wear the amethyst is one of the most spiritual stones, has a high vibration that actually protects your energy field. It's great for aura purification. It can also harmonize. Oh my God. Outside influences effectively and helps you remain calm. As an empath, you need to trust your intuition. The stone of spirituality will actually boost your psychic abilities, strengthen your empathic intuition by opening your third eye chakra. I always have empath. I always have this particular stone with me, because if you're absorbing negativity and other people's energies, what's going to happen? You're going to second guess yourself. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Next one we're going to talk about is the lapis lazuli. It's pronounced lapis lazuli, not lazuli, because that's what I call it all the time. My daughter goes lazuli. Okay, so they call this the stone of friendship and truth, which is the next bracelet I want to get for myself here. Lapis lazuli can help you trust your intuition. So if you are second guessing yourself, this is the stone you want to get as an empath. And again, your intuition about other people. This is a valid for empaths, as you naturally attract people who need help. The crystal also teaches you how to respond to information appropriately. Okay, I used to have a pendant that was lapis lazuli, and it really does help you speak the actual truth. Let's see, with its innate ability to actually protect, repair, and strengthen your aura field, lapis lazuli can also provide a full auric maintenance programming, which is actually pretty good. That's the lapis. Now, fluorite. which is, where's my fluorite? There's my fluorite. This is more of a green, but there is some purple in here. It's a greenish purple fluorite. Comes in many colors of the rainbow. Now, fluorite is actually a beautiful array of colors, reflects its ability to balance several chakras. It actually heightens your psychic and intuitive abilities while nurturing harmful, not nurturing, but neutralizing harmful and negative energies. Always have one of these in your house or next to your workplace. It's the in its natural form. Fluorite is let's see, fluorite structure makes it perfect for grounding empathic energies, while helps you to keep healthy boundaries and keeps you away from drama. That one is now black obsidian. Da, da, da. I just took whatever crystal I had in this particular style. And again, black obsidian is what we're dealing with. Now, and again, this is from a volcanic eruption, so it's really deep within the earth. Let's see. It has protective energies that help, that actually is very helpful to an empath. It keeps unwanted negative energies at bay. It provides a barrier from outside influences and emotionally needy people. All right. Aside from being one of the most powerful protective crystals, black obsidian helps you see the truth in a situation without the need to take sides. Whether you're battling your own shadow aspects of imbalance or are affected by those other people, black obsidian will help bring them to the surface. If you feel heavy from negative energies and are experiencing shock or trauma in a sense of someone is negatively talking about you, the protective grounding energies of the black obsidian will actually help you. And that's one of the issues. We need to know our truth, is what we need to know. Okay, our particular truths. And it becomes difficult when you think about it, because if we're absorbing other people's feelings, how do we know that's not what they're thinking? Oh my God, this one's talking about me. Is it us? Is it them? That's why we need the truth. Okay, the next one we're going to be talking about is lepidolite. I get two different forms of lepidolite here, light and dark. It's like a purple flaky one, is what it is. They have a heart. And then I have this one. Now, some of the most overwhelming emotions that an empath actually absorbs from other is stress, fear, anxiety. Lepidolite, with its lithium content, can actually help reduce these by bringing a calming influence. Lepidolite acts like a filter, and it helps keep toxic people away from you, is what it is. Now, let's see. La la la. Okay. It can also filter outside influences that you become less affected by other people's dramas and general negativity. This can be really helpful if the empathic healer or work caring for an industry. And again, if you're working in a lot of people, the Pedialyte is good. This stone is also wonderful for supporting emotional balance. Let's see, if you are only too aware of how people's emotions can affect you, but you are aware of the state of your own, lepidolite will actually restore the emotional balance you may be experiencing and promote more positive energies. And again, this is one, the lighter form of lepidolite, and this is the darker one, the lepidolite. Okay, and I think there is one more. Nope, two more. Smoky. Smoky quartz. I prefer the darker ones. This is a quartz, but it's a smoky quartz. Now, let's see. For highly sensitive people, often absorb negative energy, smoky quartz is one of the best empathic crystals. It all says this. It transmits unlimited amounts of negative energy. It transmutes them. So it absorbs them and turns them inside out. So instead of negative, it becomes positive. It's also one of the most effective grounding stones for empaths. As it connects to the root chakra and the earth, it encourages you to let go of feelings, thoughts, and emotions that don't serve your interest. So, as an empath, smoky quartz is another good crystal for you to have. And I think that's it, or is there one more? That is it. I think we did smoky, we did lepidolite, we did black obsidian, lapis, amethyst, malachite, hematite. And that's why I pulled all of these crystals out here. All of these particular crystals can help you as an empath. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys will find a local, literally crystal dealer that can actually help you with that. We actually removed the, okay. So that is pretty much the show for today, guys. And that's what it is. And that's what we were talking about. So hopefully do you guys have any questions? Because, that's it for the hour. That is it for the hour. Yes. And I love the energies of them. And I choose either to do that or I will wear certain ones as necklaces, bracelets. This is even wrap jewelry. Psychic vampires. People that you go around psychic vampires. Garnet. Garnet. This is garnet stone. See the little reddish hue to it? Garnet is really good to help keep psychic vampires at bay. That's another one. So let's see. That's it. Next week, guys. Thank you. Next week, we're going to be talking about listening. And there's different types of listening. You have to remember, if you want to do like healing or meditation or guided meditation, you are not going to be able to absorb what you need to if you're not listening a certain way. My moonstone and my chakra bracelet. Awesome. I probably wear too many. There's no such thing as too many crystals. No, not. So, not at all. All right, guys. I want to say peace, and I will see you next week. It's good to be back, and thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully, you guys got the information you need. And again, if somebody is, it is what it is. So, I want to say peace. There it is.